Hi, I'm Bridget, and thank you so much for joining me today for some full body yoga. We're going to get started at the top of our mats in our Tadasana. So just taking a moment to get yourself set up. So grounding down through the feet, pressing into all four corners of the feet. You might like to lift the toes and then place them back down one by one. Really drawing that energy upwards through the soles of the feet, lifting up through the kneecaps a little bit. We've got a tuck of the tailbone, nice and tall through the spine. We melt the shoulders away from the ears, and we find the breath. Nice deep breath in through the nose. On an exhale, you might like to softly close the eyes or just soften the gaze, taking a moment to go inward. You've either got the palms shining forward here, at arms by either side of the body, or you might like to bring the palms together at heart space. So wherever you are finding that energetic lift upward, going inward for a moment, checking in with how you feel, noticing the mind today, and bringing the attention to the breath. Gently blinking the eyes open. We're going to soften through the knees. On an inhale, reach the hands up and overhead. Nice big stretch, bring the palms together, and exhale, we hinge at the hips and come down through center, forward fold. Round through the head and the neck. Getting really nice and heavy through the head. Give the knees a nice generous bend. Shake the head out, go for a little sway from side to side. You might like to interlace the hands behind the backs of the legs. Maybe closing down the eyes again here. Taking a moment. And then on our next inhale, we're going to find our halfway lift. Trace the hands up the front of the legs, flatten out through the spine, draw the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, we round it forward. Ground down through the feet, tuck the chin in towards the chest. We're rolling it all the way back up to standing to our Tadasana. Take your time to get there. Let the head and the neck come up last. Give the shoulders a roll when you get there. Find a moment of stillness. Check in with how you feel. And then on our next inhale, we'll bend the knees, reach the hands up and overhead, bring the palms together, and exhale, we hinge at the hips, come down through center. Find your forward fold. Shake the head out, go for a little sway. Give those knees a nice, generous bend. Then on an inhale, we find our halfway lift, flattening out through the spine, shoulders away from the ears, and exhale, we round it forward. Inhale, ground down through the feet. We roll it all the way back up to standing. Let the head and the neck come up last. Take a roll of the shoulders when you get there. And then we start to move with the breath again. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, we come down through center. Find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we fold it forward. Inhale, roll it up, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Let the head and the neck come up last. And then let's find stillness. Closing the eyes, going inwards again. Taking this time for yourself. Let's blink the eyes open on an inhale. Again, reach the hands up and overhead. Exhale, we come down through center. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we fold it forward. When you get to your forward fold, let's plant the palms. We're going to step the feet back to plank, and let's hold here for a couple of breaths. Inhale in through the nose, check in with the body. Wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders. We're drawing the shoulders away from the ears, flattening out through the spine. So we've got a nice long line from the top of the head right down to the tailbone, right down to the heels. We're drawing the belly button back towards the spine. Nice and strong here. You might start to notice a little bit of a shake. We'll take one more breath. And then exhale, let's lower all the way down to the belly. Palms are underneath the shoulders here. We're going to press into the palms to lift the chest, almost like you're trying to press your chest forward. So draw the shoulder blades together. Press into the tops of the feet. And exhale, we lower back down. Let's come back up through our tabletop. And we're going to make our way to seated. So cross one ankle over the other. We walk it back. And we're going to find a wide-legged forward fold. So let's send the legs out nice and wide. Take a minute to just situate yourself on your mat. And then we get nice and active through the legs. So toes are pointing up towards the sky. We're nice and active through the legs. So drawing the kneecaps up and getting really nice and heavy through the thighs. Nice and tall through the spine, maybe closing down the eyes for a moment. And then on an exhale, we start to send the chest forward. Round through the head and the neck. Let the head get really heavy here. Letting the breath start to slow down. Checking in with how you feel. And then nice and slowly we'll walk the hands back in. Roll it back up. And we'll find our Baddha Konasana. So bringing the soles of the feet together here. The knees nice and wide, sitting up nice and tall. And then on an exhale, we're going to round it forward again. So letting the head get really nice and heavy. Sending the breath to the hips and the back body. Closing down the eyes. And then slowly we'll start to roll it up. And we'll make our way to lie down. So take your time to get there. Going down onto the back. And then we'll take another full body stretch with our banana pose. So sending the legs out nice and long. We're going to walk the feet over to the left corner of our mat and then cross the right foot over the left. Then we will walk the head or wiggle the head over towards the other left corner of the mat. And reach the hands up and overhead. You might like to grab a hold of that right wrist and just draw it over to the left. Breathing into the right side body. And then we'll unravel and take it to the other side. So wiggling your way back to center. And then we'll walk the feetsies over to the right corner of the mat this time. Cross the left foot over the top of the right, and then we're going to wiggle our head over to the right corner of the mat. Reach the hands up and overhead. You might like to take that left wrist and then pull it over towards the right for a bit deeper of a stretch. Find the breath here. Breathing into the side body. And then slowly we'll unravel and come back to center, where we'll find our Savasana. So take a moment to get there. Let the arms and the hands rest by your sides, palms facing up. You might like to tuck the tailbone under, lift the shoulders, draw them down. Any little wiggly movements to help you find stillness in your Savasana. Bringing the attention back to the breath. Letting the body get really heavy. Checking in with how you feel. Just noticing, becoming aware, and then letting it go. And I'm going to leave you here in your Shavasana, but thank you very much for joining me for this 10-minute practice, and I hope you're feeling great after it. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.